So I found this article on CNBC that is just roughly about a week old. Today is February 24th, and this was posted February 15th, and it's just about college debt overall, and I figured it would be perfect timing to just share this with you all, especially fresh after posting the video about how buying a brand new car is a scam. It just kind of got my brain working about, well, what other just things that we see as normal could be seen as just total financial scams in essence. Just you're losing money on the investment. It's just not worth it at the end of the day. And I thought, well, what about college, like student loans? What about college debt, so to speak? Like, I just wanted to dive in because I was previously in college. I had to pay about $8,000, somewhere in there, $7,700 when I dropped out after my first semester. So, I mean, I know how it is with student loan debt and all that good happy BS. And I was just like, well, I wonder just in general how much student loan debt like the average American will graduate with this year. So I just Googled it, to be honest, and the CNBC article popped up, and it was just crazy because it says most college graduates have one thing in common: student debt, of course. 70% of college students will graduate with significant amount of loans. And I'm assuming they didn't really specify in this article, but they said significant. So I'm assuming that means like 20,000 plus, 10, at the minimum, I'm assuming at least 10 to 15,000 plus. At the minimum, probably closer to 20 or 30 is what I'm assuming. But that means 70% of people are graduating with at least $10,000 to $20,000 of debt. That's going to start accruing interest usually within the first 6 months, if I remember right. Like, there's some kind of, not forgiveness, but like the actual interest, your first payment and whatnot is not truly due until 6 months after you graduate, because that's them being quote-unquote nice by letting you go out, try to find a job for 6 months, which is funny. They always tell you about job placement, how they have 99.99% job placement wherever school you're going to. But if that's the case, why do they give you 6 months to go look for a job? It's just something to ponder there. But it was just crazy. It says over 44 million Americans collectively hold nearly $1.5 trillion of student loan debt. $1.5 trillion. So you are literally about 1/20th of the national debt. Actually about 1/10, because it's pushing, well, it's over 1.5 trillion now. So you are literally 1/10 of the national debt, essentially, when you look at it from that standpoint, because the national debt is currently sitting at 20 trillion, somewhere around there, like 20.5 trillion, and you're pushing 2 trillion. So, I mean, congratulations, you're not really helping society whatsoever. But anyways, just going on down here, looking at it, they go on to talk about how just the average student loan comes out, like you come out of college with a student loan of around $38,000, and it says how that's equal to 20% down payment on an almost $200,000 home, a 10% down payment on an almost $400,000 home. A brand new Audi A4 costs 36 grand. The newest Tesla Model 3 is 35 grand. And they just go on and on. Some of it's kind of BS. Startup costs for a business 30 grand. I don't know what business you're starting. My business cost me about $500 to start up, but whatever. A wedding, $35,000. That's debatable. A swimming pool, $35,000. I mean, some of these are just stupid. But it's CNBC, so nothing too surprising there. And then it goes on to talk about how from 2005 to 2016, so pretty much in the last decade, the average student loan payment increased from $227 a month to almost $400 a month at $393. So you're literally paying a car payment on those student loans. And then what really got me, while they're talking about just all this bad stuff, essentially about like how pretty much unaffordable college is anymore, they go on to just throw out the stupid, what they call fact. They say, well, not fact, they say according to the Georgetown Center on Education and the Workforce, by 2020, 65% of all jobs in the American economy will require education beyond high school. However, in the U.S. Census, however, the U.S. Census estimates that 33% of American adults currently possess a bachelor's degree. So what they're trying to say is that there's jobs out there for people that have to have college, but that only 33% of Americans have a bachelor's degree or more. So the math is not adding up, because there's literally millions of Americans, or not even Americans, people that weren't from here, that came here from wherever. I'm supposed to use American, but whatever. Anyways, point being, they're saying 65% of jobs are going to require education beyond high school within the next 2 years, but that only 33% of Americans have a degree for that. If that's the case, why is there millions on millions of unemployed people with bachelor's degrees? Now, there's a whole nother topic we could get into about stupid degrees versus good degrees and so on, but to me, it's just a horrible, I don't even know what the hell Georgetown Center on Education and the Workforce is. I'm assuming it has something to do with Georgetown University, but I don't want to be sloppy with my quote-unquote reporting, but it kind of pissed me off because this just keeps reinforcing that idea in people's heads that if you don't go to college, you're not going to make it. You have to go to college. You just have to. You just have to. That's what it's just enforced into our heads over and over all throughout school, pretty much from the time we're old enough to know what school is until we graduate high school. All we hear about is where are you going to go to college? What do you plan on doing for college? What are you going to do to fund college? All this stuff. And at the end of the day, it's just total bullshit. You don't need a college degree to succeed. I'm literally a college dropout, and I'm making pretty decent money for a 20-year-old with no degree. I'm starting my own business. Obviously, I've been running my business for a while now, and we're finally starting to turn a little bit of profit. All it comes down to at the end of the day, it's about 20% head knowledge, 80% grind. That's it at the end of the day. If you're willing to bust your ass, work harder than anyone out there, you will succeed in this country. It might not be at a job necessarily, but if you want a job, then by all means, figure out some kind of trade school or figure out what you can do with internships or apprentice programs. College does not have to be the end all be all. And I know they're not directly saying that here, they're just saying you're going to have some kind of education beyond high school, but even that, that's just, I don't know, it's just kind of pushing it if you ask me, because there's thousands, if not millions of people out there that are succeeding all over the internet, be it social media marketing, just digital marketing in general. They're kind of the same thing really, but digital marketing, starting up a website with email marketing, just anything, creating ebooks, audiobooks, courses. There's just so many. The internet has literally leveled the goddamn playing field, and it's just insane that no one is hardly catching on to this. Everyone thinks that when you hear about it, it's just a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's like any other business. Obviously, you have to have customers. You have to have viewers if you're doing YouTube or soon to be Amazon Tube, apparently, or anything. You have to have an audience or a customer base. I'm getting off on a rant here, but just point being that I hate that they keep trying to enforce. It's kind of like the whole credit card thing. They keep telling you, oh, you have to get a credit card so you can get a good credit score. All that a credit card is a debt score. That's a whole other topic. But I hate that the media keeps forcing these stupid ideas into our brains when it's total BS. It's like they're literally rooting for you to lose. But that's it for that rant. It's just, I wanted to bring this to your all's attention that, it's really not too informative. It's just, think about what you do. If you're in high school and you really don't know what you want to do yet, most people are going to say this is horrible advice, but I really do suggest do not jump into going into college right off the bat. Don't jump in. If you know for sure this is what I want to do, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a welder, so you're going to a trade school, or I want to be a lineman. If you know for a fact, you've known your whole life, I want to do this, then by all means go ahead and do it. There's no hurting in doing that, but do it the right way. Don't go pull student loans out. Don't take what you think is the easy way, because the easy way you end up seeing when you're 30, 40 years old isn't so easy after all. So just be smart about it. If you're going to go to college, save up money if you see this video and you're 12, 13 years old, I definitely suggest you hustle, try to find spare jobs, go mow yards, walk dogs, babysit, just pile up money, as much money as you can, save up for school, and then, oh, by the way, you can work through school, right? It blows my mind how many people think they're just too good, or that because, oh, I go to school full time, I shouldn't have to work. Are you serious? How entitled and how much of a spoiled little bitch you are. It just gets under my skin how entitled some people think they are. I go to UCLA. I shouldn't have to work. My mom and dad usually pay for everything. Well, are they going to pay for your student loans? My guess is no for 80% of people. So don't be afraid. Just go against social norms. Work your ass off. I guarantee you when you're 40 years old and living good while everyone else is complaining and talking about how, oh, Trump, Hillary, Bernie, all of them, they're screwing me over. While you're sitting up here not even worried about that, they're going to be down here complaining and broke. Normal is broke. That's it for this rant. I'm going on like 8-9 minutes now, something like that. I can't even tell. But that's it for this podcast and video, everyone. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, definitely make sure to smash the like button. And if it kind of opened your eyes up, definitely make sure to smash the like button for sure for those of you on YouTube. And then if this is your first podcast or video, definitely consider subscribing and following throughout the journey. If you are on the YouTube channel, you can hop over to the page. There's like 100 and some odd videos now, like 115. It's crazy. I'm trying to upload as much as possible now anymore, but it's pretty hard with just everything going on. But like I said, hopefully it did maybe open some of your eyeballs up for those of you that stay tuned for the whole thing. But I definitely appreciate you guys so much. So until next time, guys, like I said, let's keep making 2018 the best year financially and overall in our life. Let's switch things up this year and just go against all social norms. I'll see you guys in the next video.